Hey, it's Ken Barrett, Laundromat How To. A little different video today. I'm actually working in the office. You can see some of the funky paint behind me. Was the color that was here when I moved in, and I'm just leaving it up there. This used to be a banquet room for a caterer that ran next door, and I took it over, and that's what we got. What we're working on today is a little bit of the help wanted. So I've got some staffing things coming up that I'm working on dealing with. So part of it is our increased workload and a few other issues. So as part of that, I need to hire in some more employees. So previously what I've done in the past is just post a notice on the window out front and let people come in and apply. And then I have an online application as well on my website where they can just fill a paper form in. What I'm working on this time is actually going through a staffing agency. And I talked to them. I was actually there for ribbon cutting with the Chamber of Commerce, and I just started asking them a few questions, something I thought about in the past and just never really stopped in to ask anybody questions. And what they charge is you determine what the pay rate's going to be, and then they charge you 40% above that. Now, of that 40%, they're covering all the background checks, the drug screening, the sorting through all the applications, and that covers workers' comp, all the taxes and everything else. So when you work it out, it's really not too bad. And the nice part is that if you're hiring somebody in temporary, or you could maybe run them for a few months, and if they're working good, you can hire them on yourself and bring them into your own payroll, or you can just continue to run through the temp agency. If you don't want to get into the whole payroll thing and all that stuff, it might be an option. If you're starting out your drop-off laundry and you just don't want to go through the headaches of hiring employees and dealing with all that stuff yourself and what's involved, and maybe you don't have an accountant and you don't want to get involved with that. This is a different option where they'll send some people over. You still have to train them and all that stuff, and you're still the boss. But if they don't work out, you just call the staffing agency and they tell them not to come back. So it takes you right out of the picture of the emotional drama of telling somebody that you don't need them anymore. And the other part is you don't, depending on your states and your situation and all that stuff, to actually terminate an employee is sometimes very difficult. Whereas you're dealing with a staffing agency, they know it's temporary. It could be temporary for years, but if you don't need them, you don't need them. You call and the job's done. There isn't a lot of stuff involved that way. So, but it is a way to try some people out instead of sitting here sifting through applications yourself. They're doing that over at their agency. I'm just waiting to meet with one of the first applicants they sent here. I'll still do a little small interview just to make sure I feel like they fit, and we can cover some of the details of the job to make sure they are interested before we just dive in. So that's today's project, and like I said, it's something you want to consider. I've thrown it around before and just didn't understand enough about it, but this way I'm not taking on an employee. I'm just taking on a contractor, more or less. They invoice me at the end of the week. I submit the hours. They invoice me. I pay the bill like I would a cleaner or anybody else. And it's just it's a way, like I said, I can build my workforce and try somebody out, and if it's just not working, it's just not working. But if it does, then I can eventually pull them in my own employment or just continue on with this method. So that's today's project, laundromathowto.com. Lots more information, and if you got any comments or questions, please let me know. Drop comments under this video or go to laundromathowto.com, and you can hit the contact us button there, or just can at laundromathowto.com. Talk to you soon.